And she said, My heart was made firm in the Lord. My horn was exalted in my God. My mouth was made wide against enemies. I was glad in your deliverance. Because there is none holy like the Lord, and there is none righteous like our God. There is none holy besides you. Boast not, and speak not lofty things. Let not big talking come forth from your mouth. Because the Lord is a God of knowledge, and a God who prepares his own ways. The bow of the mighty has become weak, and weak ones have girded themselves with might. Full of bread they suffered loss, and the hungry have forsaken the land. Because a barren one has borne 7, and she who is rich in children became weak. The Lord puts to death and brings to life. He brings down to Hades and brings up. The Lord makes poor and makes rich. He brings low, and he raises on high. He raises up the needy from the ground, and lifts the poor from the dunghill, to make them sit with the mighty of the peoples, even making them inherit a throne of glory. Granting the prayer to the one who prays, he has even blessed the years of the righteous, because not by strength is a man mighty. The Lord will make his adversary weak. The Lord is holy. Let not the clever boast in his cleverness, and let not the mighty boast in his might, and let not the wealthy boast in his wealth, but let him who boasts boast in this, to understand and know the Lord, and to execute justice and righteousness in the midst of the land. The Lord ascended to the heavens and thundered. He will judge the earth's ends, and give strength to our kings, and will exalt the horn of his anointed. And they left him there before the Lord, and departed to Harmathaim. And the lad was ministering to the face of the Lord before Eli the priest. And the sons of Eli the priest were pestilent sons, not knowing the Lord, and what was due to the priest from the people, when any was sacrificing, and the priest's servant would come, while the meat boiled, and a 3-pronged meat hook in his hand, and he thrust it into the great cauldron, or into the kettle, or into the pot. All that came up on the meat hook, the priest would take for himself. Like this they would do to all Israel, who came to sacrifice to the Lord at Siloam. And before the fat was burned, the priest's servant would come and say to the man who was sacrificing, Give meat for the priest to roast, and I will not accept from you boiled meat out of the cauldron. And the man who was sacrificing would say, Let the fat be burned first as is proper, and take for yourself of all that your soul desires. And he said, No, because you shall give it now, otherwise I will take it by force. And the sin of the boys before the Lord was very great, for they set at naught the offering of the Lord. And Samuel was ministering before the Lord, a boy wearing an ephod bar, and his mother made for him a small double cloak, and would bring it up to him from days to days, when she would go up with her husband to offer the sacrifice of the days. And Eli blessed Elkanah his wife, saying, May the Lord repay you with offspring by this woman, in return for the loan that you made to the Lord. And the man returned to his place. And the Lord took note of Hannah, and she bore further 3 sons and 2 daughters, and the boy Samuel became great before the Lord. And Eli was a very old man, and he heard what his sons were doing to the sons of Israel. And he said to them, Why do you do according to this thing which I hear from the mouth of all the people of the Lord? No, children, for the report which I hear is not good. Do not behave in this way, for the reports that I hear are not good, so that people are not subject to God. If in sinning a man sins against a man, and they shall pray for him to the Lord, and if he sins against the Lord, who shall pray for him? And they would not listen to the voice of their father, for the Lord willfully willed to destroy them. And the boy Samuel kept going, and became great, and was in favor both with the Lord and with people. And a man of God came to Eli and said, This is what the Lord says, When I revealed myself to your father's house when they were in Egypt, slaves to the house of Pharaoh. And I chose the house of your father, out of all the scepters of Israel, to serve me as priests, and to go up on my altar, and to offer incense, and to bear an ephod. And I gave to the house of your father all the things of the fire of the sons of Israel for food. And why did you look with greedy eye at my incense and my sacrifice, and honored your sons above me, to bless themselves with the first fruit of every offering of Israel before me. Therefore, this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, has said. I said, your family and your ancestral family shall go in and out before me forever. But now, says the Lord, far be it from me, for I will only honor those who honor me, and he who despises me shall be treated with contempt. Behold, days are coming, and I will destroy your offspring, and the offspring of your father's house, and no elderly of yours will be in my house all the days. And a man I will not destroy for you from my altar, so that his eyes may fail, and his soul may ebb away. But every one that remains of your house, they will fall by the sword of men. And this is the sign for you that will come upon these two sons of yours, Hophni and Phinehas. Both shall die on one day. And I will raise up for myself a faithful priest, who shall do all that is in my heart, and that is in my soul, and I will build him a sure house. And he shall go about before my anointed one all the days. And it shall be, he who is left in your house shall come to do obeisance to him for a silver obol, saying, Put me down in one of your priestly places to eat bread. And the boy Samuel was ministering to the Lord before Eli the priest. And a word of the Lord was precious in those days. There was no distinguishing vision. And it happened in that day that Eli was lying down in his place, and his eyes began to be heavy, and he could not see. And it was before the lamp of God was replenished. And Samuel was lying down in the shrine, where the ark of God was. And the Lord called, Samuel, Samuel. And he said, Here I am, and ran to Eli and said, Here I am, for you have called me. And he said, I have not called you. Return, lie down. And he returned and lay down. And the Lord continued and called, Samuel, Samuel. And he went to Eli the second time and said, Here I am, for you have called me. And he said, I have not called you. Return, lie down. And it was before Samuel knew God, and a word of the Lord had been revealed to him. And the Lord continued to call Samuel for a third time. And he got up and went to Eli and said, Here I am, for you have called me. And Eli learned that the Lord had called the boy. And he said, Return, lie down, my child, and it shall be that if he calls you, then you shall say, Speak, Lord, for your slave is listening. And Samuel went and lay down in his place. And the Lord came and stood and called him as before. And Samuel said, Speak, for your slave is listening. And the Lord said to Samuel, Behold, I carry out my words in Israel, so that both ears of everyone that hears will tingle. On that day I will raise up against Eli all that I have spoken concerning his house. I will begin, and I will finish. And I have told him that I am about to punish his house forever, for the iniquities of his sons, because his sons were reviling God. And even so he would not admonish them. I have sworn to the house of Eli, if the iniquity of Eli's house shall be expiated by incense or sacrifice forever. And Samuel lay there until morning, and he arose early in the morning, and opened the doors of the house of the Lord. And Samuel was afraid to tell the vision to Eli. And Eli said to Samuel, Samuel, my child. And he said, Here I am. And he said, What was the word that was told you? Nay, do not hide it from me. May God do thus to you, and thus add, if you hide anything from me, of all the words spoken to you in your ears. And Samuel reported all the words, and hid not from him. And Eli said, He is the Lord. He will do what is good before him. And Samuel became great, and the Lord was with him, and none of his words fell to the ground. And all Israel from Dan as far as Beersheba knew that Samuel was faithful to the Lord as a prophet. And the Lord continued to appear at Siloam, for the Lord had revealed himself to Samuel. And from one end of the land and as far as the other, Samuel was believed to be a prophet of the Lord to all Israel. And Eli was a very old man, and his sons kept advancing, and their way was evil before the Lord. And it happened in those days that the Aliphiles mustered for war against Israel, and Israel went out to meet them for war. And they encamped at Ebenezer, and the Aliphiles encamped at Aphek. And the Aliphiles prepared for war against Israel. And the battle turned, and a man of Israel fell before the Aliphiles. And 4,000 men were smitten on the field in the battle. And the people came to the camp. And the elders of Israel said, Why has the Lord caused us to fall today before Aliphiles? Let us take the ark of our God from Siloam, and let it go out in our midst, and it will save us out of the hand of our enemies. And the people sent to Siloam, and brought from there the ark of the Lord, who is seated on the cherubim, and both sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were with the ark. And it happened, when the ark of the Lord came into the camp, all Israel gave a mighty shout, and the earth resounded. And the Aliphiles heard the shouting. And the Aliphiles said, What is this great shouting in the camp of the Hebrews? And they learned that the ark of the Lord had come into the camp. And the Aliphiles were afraid and said, These are the gods that have come to them into the camp. Woe to us, O Lord! Deliver us today, for nothing like this has happened yesterday or the third day. Woe to us! Who will deliver us out of the hand of these sturdy gods? These are the gods who struck Egypt with every plague. And in the wilderness, strengthen yourselves and be men, O Aliphiles, lest you become subject to the Hebrews, as they have been subject to us, and be men and fight them. And they fought them, and a man of Israel fell. And they fled each to his covert, and there was very great distress. And there fell of Israel 30,000 from the units. And the ark of God was captured, and both sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, died. And a man, a Gemanite, ran from the battle line and came to Siloam on that day, and his clothes were torn, and earth was upon his head. And he arrived, and behold, Eli was sitting upon the seat by the gate, watching the road, for his heart was distraught for the ark of God. And the man came into the city to report the news, and the city cried out. And Eli heard the sound of the cry and said, What is the cry of this sound? And the man, hurrying, entered in and told Eli. And Eli was a son of 90 years, and his eyes were set, and he could not see. And Eli said to the men standing about him, What is the sound of this noise? And hurrying, the man came to Eli and said to him, I am the one who has come from the camp, and I have fled from the battle today. And he said, What has happened, child? And the lad answered and said, A man of Israel has fled before the Aliphiles, and there has also been a great slaughter among the people, and both your sons are dead, and the ark of God has been captured. And it happened, when he mentioned the ark of God, he fell over backward from the seat near the gate, and his back was broken, and he died. For the man was old and heavy, and he had judged Israel 20 years. And his daughter-in-law, the wife of Phinehas, was pregnant to give birth, and she heard the news that the ark of God was captured, and that her father-in-law and her husband were dead. And she crouched down and gave birth, for her labor pains came upon her. And as she was about to die, the women attending her said to her, Do not be afraid, for you have borne a son. And she did not answer, and her heart did not give heed. And she named the boy Wo-Barkaboth, because of the ark of God, and because of her father-in-law, and because of her husband. And they said, The glory of Israel has been exiled, in that the ark of the Lord has been taken.